because I know many of us suffer from decision fatigue, I have created, with the assistance of Replit, a virtual version of 5 Ideas. You're not the one making the decision.
Yes.
The universe is through this app. Welcome back and happy Tuesday, turkeys. How long have we known each other?
We've known each other for 2 decades.
I am not apologizing for who I am or what I like or the people that I love.
How do I be a wife? How do I be a mom? And how do I be myself in all of that? You didn't see that coming, did you?
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back.
Good morning, Kaylee and the turkeys. How's everyone doing?
Well, I'm doing good, but my demon cat is 5 days post-op, 6 days from getting spayed. So she's fine. For those of you listening, you might hear her meowing in the background because she's just wants attention, and she's mad at me because I put on a little outfit so that she can't lick her wounds. And she is entirely not a fan of the outfit, but she doesn't know how much worse it could be if she had a cone on. So
I was going to say, that's not as bad as the cone. That's kind of cute.
No, it's really, it's a lifesaver. We did this with my dog when he got neutered. And it was so much better than the cone, even with him being a boy and me having to pull down the butt flap. Anyway, I guess let me set the stage. Number 1, shout out to Replit. Replit, the app that lets you make websites or write code using AI. I think that's the right way to describe it. As per usual, I found out about it on a podcast, and it just seemed like fun to do something. So we've maybe talked about our childhood game called 5 Ideas, where we would be really bored, and then each of us had to come up with an idea of something to do, 5 ideas specifically. We would write them on a piece of paper. We would stick them in something when we draw one out. And then the agreement was we had to do whatever was on that piece of paper. So essentially, because I know many of us suffer from decision fatigue, I have created, with the assistance of Replit, a virtual version of 5 Ideas, which we're going to use in real life to decide what we talk about today.
Did we really all write 5 ideas down each?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I thought we only wrote 1 down, but I think you're right now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, so we had a good variety.
It's been so long. Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a gander. Can you see my screen? Sorry for people who are only listening, but it's the website that is 5 Ideas.
Yes, I can see it. It's beautiful.
I just want to give a shout out to this specifically, that when I originally did this, I thought it would be the perfect thing for couples who are sick of deciding what's for dinner. So that is why the example prompt says, what should we have for dinner tonight? So that you could technically use this to make that decision.
Which is a fantastic idea, because that's literally, I hate that question almost every night. It's like, I don't know what to make or cook or go get.
Right. And part of it is maybe annoying because you're having to come up with 5, but you're not the one making the decision.
Yes.
The universe is through this app. Okay. So you can choose your number of players. Also, just for funsies, you could do this with a 1 player if you were trying to figure out something that you should specifically be doing today. So this doesn't even have to be you and someone else. You can literally just use this as a brainstorming thing, or you could give yourself 5 journal prompts. Anyway, 1 to 6 players. Possibilities are endless. So we're going to say, what should we discuss? And my name is Kaylee. I do not really want my last name on here. Thank you. Okay. Now I'm going to create the game, and then it'll generate a shareable link so that I can share this with my friend that I'm just copying this, that I'm going to do 5 ideas with. So Kayla, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here for just a second. Well, maybe I won't. Can you just not look at your screen so the folks can see what it looks like?
Oh, yeah.
Just don't look at my ideas.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got the link. Okay. So I'll look at my phone and plug in you already have your answers? Oh, no.
No, but I was just saying I'm going to leave the sharing up so people can see, but don't.
I shall not peek. Look. Okay, so we're talking about what should we discuss on today's podcast episode. And just for everyone, we did not process this at all. I have not thought about this once.
No, I'm getting a little nervous now.
I know.
I'm going to set a 1-minute timer.
Okay.
So we all feel the pressure.
Okay.
Okay, go.
Oh my God, I'm stressed. Okay. I mean, under pressure, this is great.
Are we done in 1 minute?
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Okay,
only
give
on
us.
idea 3.
Me too. Why don't we give us 30 more seconds? That way we can hopefully hammer out 2 more.
I'm hating that I'm not spelling this word right. Okay.
I just don't even know. Okay. I think I'm good.
I need a Jeopardy song.
Oh, wait, can we do that? Can I submit mine? Will that help?
I don't know. Yes, submit yours when you're done.
Okay. I'm submitted. I'm also doing really short things. Like I didn't type a whole sentence. I'm still not reading yours, but I can see the length of it on screen. This is so fun.
Okay, I'm submitting my 5 ideas. Oh, less than 100 characters. I did not know that I had set parameters to submit all 5 ideas. Okay, you can look now. So we see all of the players, 2 out of 2 have submitted. 10 out of 10 ideas have been submitted. Here we go.
I love
Select a
this.
random idea.
This is so fun.
Which one is the winner? Oh, the winner. Okay, so it's the way that it does this. If you're playing by yourself, you're going to be the winner, but Kayla's idea was chosen. Here are all of the options that were submitted, and the one with the crown is the winner. Look, what's your favorite podcast now or previously and why? Blah, blah, blah.
I got nervous at the end, so I was like, we can expand upon that. Okay, so can we go through these? Because this is kind of funny.
Yes. Kayla,
Okay.
Oh, wait, do you want me to read them or do you want to?
I guess I'll read mine, then you can read yours. I said
Okay.
my first one was favorite childhood memories. I just feel like that would be very easy to pull out of our butts today. How to meal prep because you're the queen and I always love to learn from you. You know me, I had to throw in some aliens in here. I said, do aliens exist and will they take over the world? And then I started typing like cheesecake versus pie, and then I just deleted it and I just said dessert debate. Did I spell that right?
I think so. I think a desert has 1 S.
Yes, because it's dry and there's not enough S's to hydrate. Okay. Dessert debate. And then, yeah, the podcast one. I don't know. Maybe that's stupid, but
No,
yeah, I
I'm
picked
excited
it.
about it.
Okay.
I put, how do we feel we operate under pressure? Do you need it or does it cripple you? This is directly related to our conversation of you liking to live on the edge with not knowing your airport times when you have to fly and take a trip. If you could have any pet in the world and it would be happy and fine with it, which animal would it be? Like if you knew that a cheetah would be cool with you, would you want to have a cheetah? Okay. That led me directly into, do you think animals have consciousness? And then if you thought that they did, would that change how you treat them? More specifically, how you eat them, which is a constant qualm of mine. Why are we all so obsessed with throwbacks and retro things? This was my question that had a part 2 of why are we remaking all of the movies? I just saw they're doing another Freaky Friday.
No, they're not. Mm-hmm. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Anyway, and then last but not least, what do you think are the most annoying traits in people and yourself and why? Which was directly prompted by this morning at 5:30 in the morning on my way to the gym. In both lanes, people were driving 5 miles under the speed limit, which is rightfully irritating. But this minivan was up on the ass of the person in the right lane and then cut me off in the left lane to get behind the other slowpoke. And I was like, it's 5:30 in the morning and we're in a minivan and we're already this aggressive. But part of the looking at myself, when me and the minivan got to the red light, I made sure that I went in the opposite lane so that when the light turned green, I could speed up and get in front of them.
I don't blame you. Well, I will say your questions are quite thought-provoking. I wasn't as deep with it, but I think, I mean, we're already 11 minutes in, so maybe we pick like one or 2 podcasts that we are enjoying or have enjoyed. What do you think?
Well,
how do you want to do this?
Actually, now that you say this, I'm going to use this as an example to share another feature in which, let's say you do this and then you want to generate another one. Because I think now we're just going to map out what we're doing for the next couple of weeks. So today we're talking about what is our favorite podcast and why. And next week we will be one of mine. Yes. Next week we'll be talking about I hate this one. If you could have any pet in the world, what would it be and why? Well, I'm gonna write these down.
Okay. Maybe we can smush the pet. What if you could have any pet and a consciousness one?
We can only do what it says. Otherwise, we're
okay,
not
yeah.
playing 5 ideas.
Or the AI will come back and haunt us.
Why are we also obsessed with throwbacks and retro things? This is so funny.
That's cool.
I'm going to put these in the order. I'm kind of curious how, like, what order it'll go in. And I don't think it'll repeat. Okay. And then our favorite childhood memories. So fun. Am I turning AI into a god by letting it decide? I don't know. A new
Debatable.
selection.
That should be a
Why are we-
podcast topic.
Yeah, right? I think
Oh,
that I
it
already-
doubled.
It did. It doubled back.
So that's interesting.
Can I copy and paste this? What are the most annoying character traits in somebody and why? I'm really actually quite excited to talk about that. And let's just try another one. Oh, we're already talking about what podcast we're doing today.
So the thing is, probably instead of it just going in order of like best to worst, it's probably just like, well, Kayla's other ones are not very in depth, so we're just gonna keep telling you to do the other things.
I mean, it's supposed to be completely random.
Oh.
There's
Okay.
no
So it's
like
not.
metrics programmed in.
Huh.
And I love that the tagline is "Here's what the universe has chosen for you." Okay, well, we've officially lined up several topics for the future, and I'm very excited about it. But for today's purposes, do you want to kick it off with what's your favorite podcast and why?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I do have to shout out. I have several, but the timeliness, well, should I say it?
Yeah.
I love listening to Happy Home Birth, which is a podcast
Oh.
about giving birth at home. And the reason why it's timely is because I don't know. Were we going to do a separate episode on this?
I don't know. I guess it's okay. The cat's mostly out of the bag everywhere else.
Yeah. So I'm pregnant again.
Woo!
With our second baby. So I'm loving. It's called Happy Home Birth. And the host is Caitlin Fusco. And I love it just because they have like a million bajillion stories. Some of them are magical. Some of them have trials. Some of them end up transferred to the hospital. And it just gives me some peace to hear all the different types of ways things could go. I've done it once before, but this time hopefully we'll stay at home. So I love listening to birth stories. It's a little weird because at first you're like, that's just too much knowledge, but it's like so interesting and it's actually so helpful to know how many different ways it could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I had fun listening to your birth story.
Yeah.
And all of its
But like,
nitty-gritty
you know
glory.
me.
Yeah. I would probably be more interested if I were currently pregnant, but I like that people are sharing more often because there's a spectrum, like you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Any others?
Yes. Okay. My others, well, I'll mention two as my love podcasts that are not newsworthy because I don't really want to talk about the news. I really like Ear Biscuits, and if you don't know what Ear Biscuits is, it's the podcast with Rhett and Link. Rhett and Link from Good Mythical Morning. Yes, the YouTubers, I love them so much. I don't know why. It's like a whole thing. I discovered them like 8 years ago and I like watched, I don't know, I just love them and their conversations are just funny and it's just a great time. And then my last one that I have to shout out, I have not listened to it in a while because it scares me sometimes. And I feel like I shouldn't be listening to this kind of stuff when I'm growing a baby, but I really like the confessionals. You've heard me talk about this before when we talk about like our cryptids and our scary scaries, but it's all about ghosts and Mothman and things that I don't even know exist. And it's just really crazy if you want to get a little spooked out of your mind.
I followed them on our YouTube account per your recommendation, and just their thumbnails are too much for me.
They have good thumbnails. Like they're scary. So those are my top 3 that I feel are appropriate to share.
I am struggling. Well, let me just say that I would like to number one shout out my friend Erin because she originally turned me on to podcasts, however many years ago it was, via true crime. But I had really not listened to them ever. And then she got me hooked onto Serial, the first podcast I ever listened to.
I did listen to that one.
Which is an excellent, I guess, kind of like investigative journalism, true crime. Anyway, I went down the deep deep end of true crime. And this was before I worked in the criminal justice system. When I started that job, I had to turn it off because I couldn't do true crime all day, all the time. It was a little too much and too much darkness. But I just have to shout out Serial as one of the OGs that kind of roped me in. Her voice is so pleasant and calming because we all know that the voice is a big part of the whole thing. From there, one of the other ones I've been listening to since the beginning is Criminal, which is really fun, again, for true crime. But not all of them are like gruesome, gory. Not all of them are gruesome and gory crime stories. Some of them are just weird things that are illegal. And they're all individual episodes for the most part. There's a few part one, part twos. But they just talk about random things that have been illegal. You know, some of them have more to do with social justice issues. Some of them are just goofy. Some of them are more traditional crime. I learned about a heist of a bunch of Pappy Van Winkle, you know, the very expensive bourbon. There was one that outlined why, like, there used to be a margarine smuggling industry in Wisconsin
Oh,
because
wow.
margarine was illegal because it was obviously the dairy state and they wanted people to have butter. So the dairy farmers had lobbied against it. And then there
Which
were
is
all
good, by the way, because you should not be eating margarine. Okay, keep going.
it was just so interesting. And back in the day, the margarine was just
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
just fat.
Uh,
And I think they were
Well, yeah,
trying to
I'm
do
thinking
something.
of everything but butter. What's it called? I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think there's more chemicals now than there were
Yeah.
originally, but it was some type of processed animal fat or something, maybe. I
Interesting.
can't remember the exact makeup, but then eventually they made it legal, but you weren't allowed to dye it yellow. They weren't allowed to make it look yellow because then it looks like butter. And I think in Wisconsin, it had to be pink, or in some states, maybe it wasn't Wisconsin, they had to make it pink, and the goal was to make it unappetizing. This was more, again,
Oh,
Midwestern dairy states.
yeah.
And then they were talking about a margarine smuggling operation that was in Wisconsin. And apparently, there's still a law in the books today that you have to have real butter on the table at restaurants in Wisconsin,
Oh,
and they only can serve margarine by request.
that's so interesting.
Isn't that so funny?
Dang. See,
And
look at how
I
much you
vividly
learn from a
remember them. I know.
podcast.
I remember them calling somebody in Wisconsin at a restaurant to ask, and she was like, "Oh, hi!" And like,
You called somebody to ask?
no, they
Well,
did in the
they did.
show,
I
and
was
it
like,
was
wow,
just
you're
funny hearing.
really invested.
But I love things that are random, and then you
Mhm.
learn random facts. I'm sure people in my life get really sick of my fun facts that I never stop talking about. Um, I am on I am on one right now with the telepathy tapes.
Oh, I need to put that back on the top of my list. Yes.
I am fully involved. It's where that consciousness question came from. For people who haven't heard of it, the host is Kai Dickens. She essentially was going to make a documentary, is my understanding, about telepathy examples among non-speakers. So mostly children with autism who were nonverbal.
Mhm.
And anyhow, I think originally no one would pick up the documentary, so she just self-published it as a podcast, and it's really taken off. And now there's a
Okay.
season 2 called The Talk Tracks, and I believe the um, documentary is going to be made now because she still retained all of
Mhm.
the digital video footage. Anyhow, the whole thing just exploring consciousness and psi abilities and what we think we believe. Um, I love a good comedian podcast.
Mhm.
Your Rhett and Link, you with Rhett and Link is me with your mom's house.
Yeah. Yep, for
They
sure.
don't need my shout out
It's
by any stretch of the imagination. But because my job is heavy and I talk about serious topics
Mhm.
a lot, just watching weird videos of people on the internet doing weird things and just listening to nonsense and
Mhm.
random interviews is good for my heart and my soul.
Yeah. I love learning about things, but there's days where I'm like, I just need to listen to these two yap about something completely random and they'll make me laugh inevitably, and it's a good break.
Hmm. And oddly enough, even though another one that doesn't need my discussion, or my shout out. I remember when I first started listening to podcasts that everybody was on it about the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. And initially I was like, I don't want to listen to a bro. I don't know why I was so resistant. Maybe it's because I have
You were
that
in
personality
your,
trait.
yeah,
Well, it's when everybody's doing something, I don't want to do it
yeah.
problem. But then sometimes everybody's doing something maybe because there might be some value to it. Anyway, everybody now, my
That
cat,
scared me.
everybody has opinions and whatever. I don't care. It still remains one of my favorite places to go to find random topics because it's all random interviewees and then go on deep dives. That's how I found telepathy tapes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's still one of my favorite ways to just go, if my other podcasts are stale or I don't have something new to listen to or I want to go find a new book. It's fun to just like go listen to some random topic about AI or I don't know. It's how I heard Andrew Huberman for the first time. And now I'm out here trying to have sunlight in my eyes every day.
I love
There's
it.
so
It
much
is,
information.
there's just so much variety within his show, but then like within all the podcasts, I feel like we bring a nice slice of the pie into the mix. So if you're listening to this, yes, this is a podcast, and we love that you're here. And it's also kind of my favorite too on my list. Obviously, we're talking about other podcasts, but it's fun to like join the club and talk about sometimes, well, it is a little random, obviously, with our little random just shindig today that we did. That was so fun.
I know it was. Anyway, this was more of a discussion than I thought it was going to be. So thank you to Five Ideas. Thank you to Replit.
I almost said giblet.
Found out about Replit because the guy that did it is into AI research and I listened to him on JRE. So just all the rabbit holes that begin with a podcast. I am just grateful for the platform and for the accessibility because it's let us do something creative. It gives me a way to go find random information and then go on deep dives with other random topics. And seriously, I've learned so many things about so much that I just keeping my brain engaged and staying curious. It's such a great outlet for it. So thank you to the universe for podcasts.
I love it. Drop your favorite podcast down below. And if it does happen to be Non-Sexual Soulmates, maybe we'll shout you out next time. I don't have a gift card or anything, but we'll shout you out.
It's like, do we have merch we can give people? Not really that accessibly.
One day.
I love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.